What's going on, guys? JD from New York here. It is November 19th, 2012. Coming at you with your Survivor Series recap, review, results, highlights. Before I get into everything Survivor Series last night, I do want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers, big WWE fan, KingofKingsVAR. Go check out his channel. It's in my description down below, the link to his channel. If you guys are interested in any WWE DVDs, he gives you review and analysis on what's good, what's bad. JD himself is a big collector of WWE DVDs. I have everything from 2006 pay-per-view calendar on DVD, plus a ton of documentaries. So go check him out if you're interested in any WWE DVDs, if you're going to purchase that in the near future. He gives you in-depth analysis and his opinions on everything, so go check that out. But Survivor Series, guys. Every Thanksgiving, me and my brother tend to watch old school classic Survivor Series pay-per-views as we indulge in the holiday season, or at least try to. We have a few beers, relive the classics. But there's no better way to spend the holiday that you don't really care about to begin with. I don't care about Thanksgiving than watching the classics. You got Hogan losing to The Undertaker for the Taker's first title reign. You got Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart in that classic submission match in 1994 in Texas where Owen Hart screwed Bret. The Foreign Fanatics versus the All-Americans in 93 with that classic Undertaker-Yokozuna confrontation where The Undertaker kicked out of the Banzai drop. Diesel versus Bret Hart in 1995. Great championship match for the WWF Championship at the time. First ever Elimination Chamber at Madison Square Garden was held at the Survivor Series. It's been home to many classics over the 26 years it's been on the WWE's calendar. But the last few years, however, have been lackluster, poorly built pay-per-views. Nothing really memorable about them at all. And with 2 weeks to really build this pay-per-view, I didn't put much stock in the WWE to put on a good card. As I said last night as I walked into the bar, this may be the worst pay-per-view of the year to those who know the WWE product. Alright? By the time I got into the bar, the first match had just started. I got there 10 minutes late. It was a packed house, people cheering and booing, causing a commotion. I finally take my seat with my brother, cross my arms, watching the match that's taking place, and I'm saying to myself, what are these people cheering for? I must be one of those smart internet fans everybody talks about. The first match was Rey Mysterio, Cara, Tyson Kidd, Justin Garbriel, and Brodus versus Tensai, primetime players, Primo and Epico. Two tag teams that have been featured very well on TV in the past few months, Mysterio and Sin Cara and the primetime players. And then the rest are a bunch of guys that the WWE thinks we're supposed to care about. Tensai looks absolutely terrible and should never be on a pay-per-view card ever. Brodus continues to fall down the ladder. Epico and Primo are treated like a bunch of pushovers, and Tyson Kidd and Justin Garbriel rarely ever leave dark matches and superstar tapings. Sin Cara botched 3 times, crowd was flat, and the end result was very dull and boring. So it was a very bad way to start off the pay-per-view. Nothing special. The heels got their asses handed to them. Mysterio's team won, stood tall with 4 remaining members, only Brodus being eliminated. That's all I got to say about that, guys. There was really nothing special about that match at all. Then we go into the Divas match. So it goes from worst to worst. Alright, next we have the Divas match, Kaitlyn versus Eve. I think at this point I told my brother we're pretty much watching Monday Night Raw on a Sunday night. So I proceed to get up and go to the bar. I order a dish of French fries and I order a Sam Adams. By the time I placed my order, the match was over. They were given a decent amount of time, but again, why should I care? If the WWE doesn't care about their Divas division, then I'm certainly not. And what is with Eve's facial expressions, man? I just want to slap the shit out of her. She looked absolutely fucking ridiculous. Hey, Eve. Madison Rayne called from TNA. She wants her gimmick back. Stop waving your fucking hand. Eve retains. Who cares? Third match of the night was a U.S. title match between R-Truth and Antonio Cesaro. At this point, I'm still at the bar waiting for my food, and I went to go get another beer because the Divas match was so boring that I finished my first beer. This was a match between 2 guys that were just thrown together because A, WWE didn't have anything else to fill out the card with, and B, WWE loves to throw together matches that are last-minute ideas and feud people for 2 weeks with no build-up. Listen, R-Truth has been a decent mid-card guy, but he hasn't been in anything meaningful since he teamed with The Miz, and he will never move above the level he's at now. Dull and predictable, Antonio Cesaro wins with the neutralizer, as expected. The World Heavyweight Championship match was next, and obviously this is a rematch from Hell in a Cell. Big Show versus Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this match was decent. I'll give it that. I mean, but it was nothing really, out of the ordinary. Nothing major happened here. It was decent for what it was. It was rehashed the majority of their last match, to be honest with you. Show and Sheamus work well together, I will admit that. But they never give me the sense to where I'm fully invested in the story that they are telling in the ring. I don't feel that way when I see these two guys wrestle, especially Big Show. The match had a screwy finish. Original ref was knocked out. Second ref comes in to check the original ref who was knocked out. Show sees an opening, hits the WMD. With the original ref still knocked out, a second ref makes a decision to count the 1, 2, 3 and declare Show the winner. So he pins Sheamus. Ref number 3 argues with ref number 2. So then ref number 3 overturns the decision, making Sheamus the winner by DQ. So he doesn't win the title but wins the match. Show starts yelling. Sheamus grabs a chair, brutally attacks Big Show after the match with the steel chair, showing that aggression he needed to show early on in this feud. Finally, after a good 5-minute beatdown, Sheamus throws the chair down, points to Show saying something, and then walks away. Now this will lead to their final match at TLC for this title. Looks like it's going to be a chairs match at the pay-per-view TLC. I never understood the meaning of a chairs match. It just sounds fucking ridiculous when you say it. Oh yeah, this is a chairs match. Why not just call it a no disqualification match or an Extreme Rules match or something like that? I understand you want to go along with the whole gimmick of TLC, but it just sounds fucking retarded. A chairs match. Anyway, Team Ziggler versus Team Foley was up next. Now, matches like this are the reason why Survivor Series was built. Alright? Excellent match. First of all, David Otunga was the replacement for Cody Rhodes. Who cares? Whatever. He was there to replace Cody Rhodes. That's all I have to say about that. A few surprising moments here in this match, though. Sandow, Kane, and Daniel Bryan were all eliminated rather quickly, which was disappointing because I love Daniel Bryan and I love Damian Sandow. I would have loved to see Sandow last a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but, I'm grateful he was on the pay-per-view to begin with. Kofi did a monkey flip from the turnbuckle on Dolph Ziggler that looked absolutely vicious. After the way Ziggler sold it, I'm convinced this guy can sell ice to a fucking Eskimo. He's unbelievable. Kofi, though, was eliminated by Wade Barrett. The announcers made a big deal about The Miz being tagged in after Kofi was eliminated. He was tagged in for the first time. I assume they want to push him as a face. The announcers, they're going to ram him down our throats, which I hope they don't. It needs to be organic in the way they turn him face. I don't want to be forced to like him, I like him as it is, but I don't want to be forced by the announcers. One of my subscribers asked what I thought about The Miz turning face. I like it. He needed a change. The WWE ruined his heel character and gave him an unsuccessful run with the title, the WWE Championship rather, and kept him floating around, losing to top talent. He was fed to Ryback lately. He got squashed twice by Ryback. He just needed the change, He eventually eliminated Wade Barrett with the skull-crushing finale after a nice exchange between the two. It eventually came down to Del Rio and Ziggler versus Orton and The Miz. Miz was eliminated by Del Rio with a roundhouse kick, which left Orton all by himself. I really do like Randy Orton, and this is where the match got great. All right, great exchange between Del Rio and Orton. Orton pulling out an RKO out of nowhere to pin Del Rio. Ziggler and Orton were left remaining. And get used to this, guys. You're going to see a lot of Ziggler and Orton in 2013 if the rumors are correct. Maybe even a match with the two at WrestleMania, which could be a show stealer if it happens. This is part of the show that was probably best as of this point. They hit all their signature moves. Ziggler got the zigzag. Orton kicked out. Orton did his thing, his whole Viper routine. Looked like Orton was going to win, but that was not the case. Ziggler was laying unconscious. Orton was getting ready to deliver a punt kick to the face. Ziggler got up and hit Orton with a super kick out of nowhere, pinning Orton for the 1-2-3. Great match, great ending. I'm glad Ziggler finally got a big win on pay-per-view. He was made to look strong going into a World Heavyweight Championship title reign that we all know is coming for him. Orton, however, seemed to be a little different after he missed that punt kick. He'll be turning heel soon, and I'm glad he works better that way, and he'll be a lot happier working as a heel. His best work is as a heel. The Survivor Series was built up on these types of matches throughout the years, and if anything like that happens again, the pay-per-view should be around for a very long time. I love 5-on-5 classics like that. Great match. Up next was the triple threat match, and this is where things got interesting, guys. All right, CM Punk obviously is the best in the world. No doubt about it. A match that was once again made last minute by Vince McMahon because he thinks the 5-on-5 match would not sell as a main event. We just seen with the last match, if they have the proper parts in place with great action and the crowd are generally going to care about what goes on in the ring. It could work, okay, Vince? It could work. He wanted star power in the Survivor Series main event with Cena, Punk, and Ryback. So, nobody's going to argue with him. I've been very critical of the way WWE has handled their booking decisions. It's been lazy, incompetent, downright stupid. It all started at Hell in a Cell. They booked themselves into a corner with Ryback and Punk. I'm glad someone had the brain in the back. WWE officials had the brain and realized Punk's title reign means more than a stupid winning streak with a guy who's being pushed to the moon because Vince adores him. Punk walks out of Hell in a Cell with the title, but how we got there was just another last-minute decision because that's how they work, apparently. That's how they do their thing, WWE Creative, last minute. Ideas need to be set in place. Storylines need to be set up for the future, and shows need to be planned out in advance. Even the announcement of this title match was last minute. 2 weeks out from a major pay-per-view, this match was announced. Cena being involved now, before the match was announced, I had a feeling something was up. I knew Vince would grant Ryback another title shot to begin with, but with Cena getting involved, I felt the cards were being stacked against CM Punk in order to take the belt off him. My prediction going in before the match was John Cena walks away the new champ. That was my prediction. WWE put my fears to rest. The match itself wasn't great. It was very basic, nothing to jump up and down about. But what's going to be remembered here is the ending. Ryback delivers 2 shell shocks to Cena and Punk and is about to win the title. And out of the crowd comes 3 men wearing black. They all destroy Ryback, put him through the Spanish announce taper, craziness going on. I don't know what's going on. And then these 3 men, I immediately seen who they were. I knew right off the bat who they were. These men were mentioned by CM Punk on Twitter as the future of the business. Finally, the WWE made a decent decision to give us a pay-per-view ending we can be excited for. Probably the best ending to a pay-per-view all year. Finally, WWE introduced some of the best talent to come along in a very long time in a decent way. And I mean decent because I need to see how the follow-up is, and I need to hear their explanation as to why they did what they did. I'm not going to go and shake the hands of WWE Creative at this point. They have the talent. It's time to utilize them. And what better way than to pair them with Heyman and Punk? I'm talking about Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Ambrose and Rollins are Ring of Honor guys, a place where Punk began his legacy. Reigns is the cousin of The Rock. They helped Punk secure the win, which means today is his 365th day as WWE Champ, a feat rarely seen in today's wrestling market. The ending was fantastic, and I'm sure the internet is still buzzing. It also means Ryback is out of the WWE title picture, where he did not belong to begin with because he was nothing more than a plan B. It's not his time yet. I yelled out Seth Rollins in the crowd, or at the bar. People didn't know who he was, alright, or why he was there. The same could be said with Ambrose, who's my favorite of the bunch. Now, the thing is, where do they go from here? I guess this is why we have to tune in a little bit to Monday Night Raw. Is there going to be an NXT invasion? A new stable with Punk and Heyman? Is Punk going to introduce a new belt? Where does Cena go from here? Will we get another rematch between the 3 men at TLC? Can Punk keep the momentum going into TLC? All I know is, give the mic to Dean Ambrose, because if you guys want pipe bombs, he's loaded and ready to unleash hell right now. I mean, I was in love with that ending. I'm finally glad that they brought him up. There was rumors of these guys being brought up into the main roster. What a great way to pair them with CM Punk. That's brilliant. I'm glad WWE finally made a decision. Whether it was last minute or not, I still don't know. But if there was a last minute decision, it was a home run decision. I can't wait to watch Monday Night Raw. They have everybody buzzing, and this is the kind of thing that they need. They need something hot going into Monday Night Raw. The ratings have been struggling, so we'll find out in a little bit what's going on. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be bringing you my Monday Night Raw review on Tuesday morning, filling you in on all the news, backstage happenings, anything that happened at Survivor Series that I may have missed. I'll fill you guys in on my channel. I hope you enjoyed my commentary, guys. Survivor Series was a decent pay-per-view in the end. It was better than I had originally expected. But we got Monday Night Raw in a little bit, so I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed my commentary. Click on the description down below. Check out my boy KingofKingsVAR. His link is in the description. Check out his channel. I'll see you guys Tuesday morning, guys, alright? Time for Monday Night Raw. JD's out. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.